In this video, we're going to look at sketching shapes. Now, one point about sketches is that they are meant to be quick to do. They don't need to be measured out and drawn accurately. They just need to give people the information so they could draw the shape accurately if they wanted to, but often we don't really care about an accurate drawing. We just want the information, the important information about a shape. Let's get straight into the first example. We need to sketch and label an isosceles triangle ABC where BC is the longest side. So, first of all, what's an isosceles triangle? Well, it's a triangle that has exactly two sides that are the same length. Now, more than that, in this particular case, we want to have a longest side. For this, we need to realise that there are two types of isosceles triangle. You can have an isosceles triangle with one long side and two short sides. Or you can have an isosceles triangle with one short side and two long sides. So looking back at the question, what we want is an isosceles triangle with a longest side. So we want this first type of triangle because it has a longest side. We don't want this second type of triangle because it doesn't have a single longest side. It's got two equally longest sides. So let's get rid of this triangle over here. Now we want the longest side to be called BC. So we want these vertices to be called B and C. Like this. And that means the other vertex will be vertex A because we wanted our triangle to be called ABC. And we're not quite finished yet. Someone looking at this sketch won't know this is an isosceles triangle. We need to give them a bit more information. Now, there are two ways of doing this. I think the best way would be to use hatch marks to show that these two sides are the same length. Now, this sketch contains enough information for us to know we've got these two sides that are the same length. If you wanted to, however, you could also have shown these angles down here as equal because an isosceles triangle has exactly two equally sized angles, and you could show that the third angle is different, possibly by using a different symbol for that angle. Also, if you wanted to be extremely clear that this third length is different from the other two, you could use a double hatch mark like this. Now this is fine too, but it really doesn't give us any extra information compared to what we had when the sketch looked like this. A sketch like this tells us we're dealing with an isosceles triangle, and if we know we're dealing with an isosceles triangle, then automatically we know that these two angles will be equal without having to see them specifically labelled on there. Let's move on to the next question. In this question, we need to sketch a quadrilateral PQRS with precisely one pair of parallel sides. Now, remember, we can indicate that two lines or line segments are parallel using arrow marks like this. So pause the video and have a go at this question for yourself. Here's one possible answer. I've got a quadrilateral, a four-sided shape. I've labelled its vertices P, Q, R and S in that order, so we would call the quadrilateral PQRS. And I've indicated precisely one pair of parallel sides using these arrow marks on these two sides. I have not indicated that this other pair of sides are parallel to each other. You'll notice there are no arrow markings on these two sides. So what I've got here is a trapezium. Let's move on to the final question. In this one, I need to draw a triangle, that's what this symbol is saying, a triangle called ABC, where the length AB is 7 centimeters, BC is 5 centimeters, and AC is 6 centimeters. Again, this is a sketch, so it doesn't need to be measured out accurately. It just needs to be labelled correctly. Here's how I would go about this one. I'm going to start with this side AB. So I just need to draw a side, something like that, label it AB, and label the length 7 centimeters. Now BC needs to be 5 centimeters, so I just need to draw on a length from B that is going to be labeled as 5 centimeters. I haven't measured this out accurately, there's no need to for a sketch. So there we've got BC as 5 centimeters, and then AC needs to be 6 centimeters. So all I do is join up from A to C with a ruler, label that 6 centimeters, and we're done. This is all we need to do for a sketch. Just be aware, sometimes a sketch won't be good enough and we will have to accurately construct a triangle. For a video on how to accurately construct a triangle, check out topic G2b.